Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Change is Near. This is episode 9 from March 8th of the year 2022. Today's episode is called The Universal Law of Non-Interference. There on the screen you can see the disclaimer. You want to read about it. I already talked about that on previous episodes, so let's start. I'm a firm believer that the universe is governed by 4 primary laws. They are all important. They are all related to each other. There is no order. So I'm going to talk all week about the universal laws here starting Tuesday. So I have my material from Tuesday to Friday. 4 episodes. I'm going to talk on the universal law of non-interference, the universal law of balance, the universal law of karma, and the universal law of free will. There might be hundreds of universal laws. That's the only 4 I'm aware of right now. And you see, I really haven't researched that much about them. It's just stuff that it's coming from somewhere, okay? So these are my feelings, as I already said many times. These are not even my thoughts, or it's not something I'm doing analytically or through my mind. I'm just really telling you how I feel. Okay, so this is something that might vibrate with you, or this is something that you might find interesting, entertainment, science fiction, or there's something that really bothers you. If it bothers you, just stop the video, there's no sense that you go through it. I certainly don't want to interfere with you. I'm going to explain in a second what's the universal law of non-interference. Okay, so here in the picture that I found, you see there are 2 persons fishing, and in a way it seems that there are concentric circles of when they throw their stuff into the water, the harness or whatever, fishing stuff into the water. I mean, they interfere with each other, so that these concentric circles have a part that they step into each other. Okay, the universal law of non-interference is you mustn't interfere with anything or anyone in the universe ever. Okay, you're gonna get it someday. I know that seems impossible. How am I supposed to walk, to live, to survive, to do whatever, to go through my life, my eternal life, if I'm not able to interfere? Well, you mustn't. Okay, you mustn't. The universal law of non-interference also has a second part, which is, I don't know if, I'm 48 years old, and I don't know how young or old you are, but I know you remember the early, not mobile phones, but the wireless phones that were used on landlines in houses. I'm talking 70s, 80s. They used an analogical technology, so they were basically like a radio, and they actually had a sticker. And as you see, these evildoers, they put stuff like universal laws on those very, very strange places, okay? So I remember when I read this sticker as a child, I read it probably 10 or 100 times. That I really liked the idea, and it said that this device must not cause any interference and must accept all interference. So you see, that's the universal law of non-interference. What it means is you mustn't go and interfere with others' lives. And I'm not talking only about human beings. I'm talking about other beings, Mother Earth, the universe, the energy as a whole. You mustn't interfere with that. You're only allowed to interfere with someone when they request your help, your assistance, because you see, you're a beacon of love and assistance. Okay, that's your ultimate mission, and you can be doing your mission on your earlier part of your existence as you grow through these 4 laws, and many others possibly that I'm not aware of. Okay, so as you grow your wisdom, you work your karma and your balance, through your free will, you respect the universal law of non-interference. So it means you mustn't judge, you mustn't impose, you must not do harm, and anything else you can think of, to everything and everyone, okay? So if someone thinks different from you, don't judge them. They're in a different process. It's not your place, certainly, through the universal law of non-interference. If someone wants to harm you, this is a difficult one, because we believe in something called justice, and I've thrown that word out of my mind. That's a terrestrial word. It was being implanted into us, justice, You are going to kill me, I must defend myself and kill you. No, if I do that, I interfere. Killing someone, there's no killing, that doesn't exist, but you interfere with their existence. You have thrown them into change, forced them into change, maybe earlier than they were supposed to, okay? So you're interfering with their path, and you're interfering with their search of wisdom and their own process of discovering these laws. You are only allowed to do that if someone really requests your assistance, okay? If they do that, then you interfere, but you are still respectful of their own process, of their own thoughts, of their own feelings, and you just throw breadcrumbs. I mean, you don't solve the problem of others, okay? That's not the way a universe works. That's not what God does. He gives love and assistance. So he shows you the way, and you travel your own way, you see. You have to put your own work in. No one is going to put your work for you. And it's the same when you provide assistance, when you are asked to help, then you make yourself available to others and you show them the way. That doesn't mean you are arrogant as saying, I know the truth and I know I'm right. No, you don't know the truth, and it doesn't matter if you're right. You just tell them your feelings, you give them pieces of the puzzle, you give them breadcrumbs and say, I feel this is the way. What do you feel? Not think, feel. What do you feel? Is this the way? Can I assist you any further? And yes, you should make yourself always available to any being that requires your assistance. You see, that's your ultimate goal. As you go through your wisdom and you work your karma, you're eventually going to become something called, and I'm going to do an episode maybe next week on superior self. Okay, so there's a best version of you out there. On time is irrelevant, as I already explained on previous episodes. Okay, so in the future, maybe 1 billion years from now, terrestrial years, there's something called the best version of you, or your superior self. You're an angel. That's your mission. You're going to become that one day. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I feel very strong about. I don't care about being right. I don't know if it's the truth. I feel very strong that you're going to become an angel. So this angel will give you, is your ultimate version of you, and you are going to realize that your only mission in life is basically because you're full of self-love and the love of the Father, which is an expression of your self-love, then you're going to understand you just have to beam it out and help others. That's our only mission, helping others through assistance, not resolving their problems, because you are not helping anyone when you resolve others' problems, especially if you have special abilities that you might develop in the future. Okay? You might have the ability to morph reality as we know it. You might have the ability to travel through time. You mustn't abuse those abilities, but that's for another episode, because that's the law of balance. Okay? You mustn't cheat. You mustn't hack. That is the law of balance, but I'm going to talk about that probably tomorrow, actually. So, the universal law of non-interference is basically going through your life, really just trying to help, trying to assist. And if you do that, you're going to respect the universal law of non-interference. It's not your place to say anyone that he's dumb, she or he, that they don't know better, that whatever happens to them is because they're stupid, that there are books out there, that there are scriptures that have been written 2,000-3,000 years ago, and they tell us everything, apparently. No, it's not your place, you see, it's not your place. Let anyone or anything think whatever they want. That's their free will. That's another universal law that I'm going to talk about probably on Thursday. There's a little order I'm going to follow, because the ultimate one is karma, and that's going to be Friday, I think. So what happens is, really, the universal law of non-interference is able to achieve love without touching each other. So I like this picture, because see, there's two people here, probably a man and a woman, I don't know, and they're doing the heart symbol or whatever expression, and they're barely touching each other. So you see, it's possible to go through life without interfering. And it starts by being humble and really knowing that you don't know anything. You don't know anything through regular knowledge. Regular knowledge is irrelevant. It really has no place compared to wisdom. So, and if you have wisdom, again, you are not better than anyone. You are extremely special. You're the most special thing in the universe, and you're the least special thing in the universe. And that seems like, a sentence that doesn't make sense, but it makes all the sense in the world if you think about it. You're extremely special, but we all are. There are no hierarchies, there are no kings, there are no leaders, there are no anyone. Not even God is part of this hierarchy, you see, because he loves you very much. You are his child, like everyone is, and he only wants you to find your own way, your own story. That's the only thing, because he knows you're going to discover things, and he knows you're ultimately going to be very happy to be this expression of love and assistance to others. Provide yourself ready and available. And you see, when you become your superior self, don't think yourself like one single being. You're going to be multitasking, you see. Jesus Christ, Allah, Buddha, and many others, Jehovah, and all the leaders that have been put into religions and books, they existed. Yes, they existed. They were very good beings, of course. They were along in their process. We all become good as we go along in our process. There's no option. You cannot be bad, okay? It's impossible. There's no wrong way to go about this. When you go through your process, you become good. They were advanced beings in difficult times in humanity through Earth, that they were part of this Earth, but they were part of also other civilizations. They helped out all along the universe. They have all evolved and become their superior self. So they are now angels, what you know or read about as angels. And they help many, many beings all across the universe, not only on Earth. So it's, if you pray to Christ or Allah, that's perfect, you see. They don't want your worship. That's something that those are just inceptions here in our mind. They have been planted in there, that you must worship, because worship automatically makes you smaller. Okay, when you worship something, if you worship an artist, if you worship a sports player, let's say a football player, a baseball player, you automatically put yourself lower than them, because that's the basis of worship. So worship doesn't exist. It goes against the law of balance, The law of balance is we're all great. We're all part of this universe, and we're all the same. And so we're all God, and we're all not important in a way. Our only mission is to help, okay? Be beacons of love and guidance. So when that happens, if someone requires your help, you mustn't interfere, okay? So actually doing the work for them is interference. That's your ego working, saying, okay, so I'm such a good guy, I'm such a good gal, that you know what, I'm going to take this person and do everything for them because I'm such a good guy, and I'm going to maybe get a prize afterwards. I'm sorry, I feel you're going very wrong about it. You must help that person or being, whatever, it doesn't have to be even a human being. You must help that being or something or energy help itself or themselves, okay? You must do that, that's guidance, okay? Of course, and your energy or love, being the love, that love will give them strength. And it's going to give them a way to find themselves and all the power you have inside you. Man, you have a lion inside you. You can be many things. You have a tiger. You can be an eagle. I mean, you have extreme power inside you. Sometimes it says when people have been subjected to horrible things like during war. I mean, there's this great story about 6-7 people that they escaped a gulag in Second World War in Russia. And they walked thousands of kilometers, miles, through winter, through a desert. They eventually were able to be free. So you see, you have powers inside you that you don't even understand, and you mustn't. You really are an extremely powerful being and knowledgeable through wisdom, you see. The real knowledge is wisdom. What you find in books is fine. I mean, I'm not going to discredit that, and I'm not going to say, I mean, they help in this reality, okay? The same as your 5 senses and your brain. Yeah, that's great. And you might be a scholar in a nuclear physicist, so it appears you're a really bright guy. But really, if you don't tap into a little wisdom, I don't think you're going about it how you should. Okay. So I hope you like this episode. This is a very important law, and it's very difficult to understand. I get it because I make mistakes all the time. You see, I still am judgmental, and I still want to interfere others by helping directly. I'm a work in progress, as you are. You see, we're all along a different level, and there are no ways to go wrong about it. If you're at 0% and you're what is called completely asleep, and you only live through your senses and your brain and terrestrial pleasures, you are in that process. You're going to get it. We're all going to get to the finish line eventually. And there are no gold medals, no silver medals. This is not the Olympiads or whatever, or the Super Bowl. We're all going to get the prize, the ultimate golden ticket, which is becoming beacons of love and assistance. And we're going to do great things, travel to time. We're going to be multi-dimensional, and we're going to exist in different periods and places at the same time. And we're going to be very connected to our God. I'm very happy because that's the last chapter of our existence. But we have to go through it. I mean, don't rush it. We have to go through it. We have to learn a lot of things through the way. And as I said, most of us are in kindergarten. I don't know, some of you in elementary school, maybe some of you are already in junior high. But this is a process. It's going to take a long time. We have to be patient, and we have to really get comfortable with ourselves and the knowledge we have inside us. So I hope you like this episode about the universal law of non-interference. There might be questions. Please shoot me an email or the comments. And again, there's no way to rationalize this. There's no explanation. There's not a constitution or something you see in a book. You see, this is all about feelings. So just trust your instincts, trust your feelings, and go about it through just try to, and if you make mistakes along the way, like interfering, that's perfectly fine. Just try to immediately correct them by think about it. And one nice way is, for example, if you're having a discussion with someone, if there's nothing nice that comes to your mind, maybe just don't say anything at all. Just smile, just laugh, and let them have their truth. Let them think they're right. If it's important for them, let them have that. Okay, really being right. At the end of the day, at the end of your existence, that is gonna go on forever, is really the least important thing. Okay, so I hope you have a beautiful day today, and I hope to be back tomorrow with episode 10. It's going to be the universal law of balance. It's similar to non-interference, but it's a little bit different. So I know these terms are confusing, and I'll try to explain them as clear as possible. And again, I put myself at your service. You honor me. If you think I can be of any assistance to you, I'm here to help. Okay? Thank you, and have a very nice day.
We want you on the show. Send me an email to hey@humanitywins.net to schedule an interview. Help me out by making the show more interesting, fun, and knowledgeable by having you on and giving our viewers the opportunity to learn from you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Please be sure to check out our friends from Waking the Future and their awaken-attire.com shop. They gave me my first opportunity to speak about this, and I will be forever grateful. Link to their channel and shop on the show notes. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.